Here's my review of Echo Season 1, Episode 4. This episode, as well as just this entire show, feels very fast-paced. And although I liked this episode and I'm liking this show, it's a show that I think would benefit maybe from having more episodes. As this episode, we're kind of seeing a lot of Kingpin, which is really cool. And he addresses like a lot of the stuff that happened in the Daredevil Netflix shows. And now that that's finally canon, it all makes sense how he killed his father with a hammer. And so it's cool to just finally get that clarification. And the whole beginning of this episode is kind of showing how Maya became who she is, how she was raised by Kingpin, and how like she goes up, she wants like some ice cream or whatever, and then the ice cream guy, he doesn't know sign language, so he tells her to go away, and then Kingpin gets all mad, and then he kills the guy, beats him to death. And then Maya actually sees that. And then because she has this admiration for her uncle, she like kicks him and embraces it, kicks the ice cream vendor, and Kingpin's like proud of it. So you can see this kind of twisted grooming of violence, which is very interesting. Because it's a character, like that's what's so weird about the show, even though, like I said, I feel like I was the only person in the entire world who was actually looking forward to the show. It's a show that it feels like so weird to make because she's not like your traditional hero. I want to call her like, she's not a villain. Like her personality, because she's deaf, and a lot of it is through sign language, it's difficult to get a clear personality on what she's like. Even though I enjoy this character, but it's a character where it's just kind of feels difficult to understand, ironically, their character. Like, who are they? And I feel even when we're spending time with the show, like, I'm enjoying Maya, but I'm just kind of confused. And a lot of this episode is just kind of her interactions with Kingpin that make it great. Like, I think, like, this is the same Kingpin as from the Netflix shows, which are now canon to the MCU, which is great. And people are complaining, saying, oh, the MCU's gonna ruin them. And, like, I thought he was great. Like, I didn't think he has the exact same... Even back in Hawkeye, people are saying, like... Yeah, Hawkeye was kind of a silly, fun show. I personally very much enjoyed Hawkeye. But I thought that Kingpin was done fine in Hawkeye. I don't know why that many people were complaining. I thought he was great. He still kind of had the same personality. I didn't understand the complaint there. But people were complaining, and I still thought he was great here. Another thing I think is really cool is how Kingpin gives Maya this, like, eye contact where it's, like, hooked up to, like, this voice thing where when he speaks, it shows the sign language because, like, he doesn't really know, he's not fluent in sign language, which that's a really cool invention. Like, that's a really cool idea. I don't know if that's probably not a real thing, but I thought that was just a very cool scene. And like I said, we talk about how he talks about how he had to kill his own father with a hammer, which we saw in the Daredevil Netflix show. And it's just so, it's nice to just get that clarification because so many years people are like, oh, are they straight canon? Are they not? Are they, blah, blah, blah. But it's just nice to finally get some clarification. I thought that's great. I mean, it's just good to hear. But the problem with this entire show is because it's so short, like, I only got one more episode left. Like, I guess Kingpin is, like, the main villain, but at the same time, they're not really... And he's going to be the villain in Daredevil. It's like, I know he's not going to die next episode. So, and it's like, what exactly is our main plot? I think that's where it struggles. And then we just get, like, at the end where he finds out, like, kind of Maya ran away, like, at the end. And then he just kind of freaks out, and then episode ends. And I'm just sitting back there thinking, I'm like, if this show maybe had, like, I don't know, 10 episodes, I wouldn't really be upset. But I'm like, we don't get 6 episodes. We get 5, even less. And it's just like, why? So, in conclusion, I liked this episode. I've liked, like, every single episode so far. I've been liking this show. But from what I've heard, the next episode is the worst one, unfortunately. But who knows? I'll come to my own conclusions. But it's a show where as of right now, I'm really liking the show, and even if this next episode is terrible, I will probably still like this show overall. But it's a show where I'm like, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. I would like to see more of it, but only 5 episodes. So yeah, I thought this episode was good. I liked it personally, but it's more just, man, I'm worried about that finale.